Hello, Vishnu sir. How are you today?
I'm good. Thank you. How about you?
I'm good too, and thank you for asking. So, I want to let my audience know that we have a very special guest with us today, Vishnu sir. He has been teaching since 2008, if I'm not wrong. Am I right here,
Yeah,
sir?
it's been
Mm.
16 years. Yes.
So, I know a lot about you, but I want you to speak a little bit about you, to introduce a little bit so that our audience could know what kind of personality you are and what have you gained over these years. So, over to you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much for inviting me to your channel. So, friends, as she said, like I have been in language training for 16 years. Yeah, I started in 2008. Have worked for, I'm originally from Delhi and have been in language training for 16 years. And in the last 16 years, I have worked for all the biggest names in English language training here in Delhi NCR. And for the past 4 years, I have been training people online. So I have worked with English learners from 19 countries. And the experience has been fantastic. It's our first meeting. I would like you to also tell me a bit about yourself.
Sure, sir, I would love to. My name is Sunita Rawat. I come from a beautiful village in Chamoli, Uttarakhand. I am a proud mother of two wonderful kids, and recently I've started training in English language for the beginners.
Right?
And if I talk about my hobbies, then I love interacting with people in English, and I love to share the knowledge whatever I have gained over the years. So that's a quick snapshot of me. If you have any questions, you can surely ask.
Yeah. So when did this idea of joining YouTube come to mind?
Okay, so actually, I was already on YouTube for a long time. I had a
Mhm.
vlog channel of mine. So
Okay.
there also I had around 2000 subscriber, but I was not totally into it. I was doing it just for the sake of doing it, and it was not of
Mhm.
my interest. So I left it then and there. Then
Okay.
I watched a video of one of the YouTubers, and he was practicing English conversation with someone. So I thought of connecting him, and I had a conversation with him, and
Mhm.
it went really well. But in that process, I realized that I was not very good at it the way I was earlier. Earlier, I was really confident, but since there was a gap of around 5 years wherein I was not
Mhm.
speaking at all, so that time I realized that I should work upon my language. So I thought I should take more conversation like this to practice my English. And then I thought I
Mhm.
should also make a YouTube channel for this so that ultimately my video is going to be uploaded on YouTube. If I would be reaching any YouTubers, then my video is going to be uploaded.
Right, right.
So I thought I could make my channel myself and practice sessions with my co-learners, practice conversation with my co-learners, and in the process, I can help other people to practice their English. So this is how my YouTube journey started.
Great. Yeah, I've seen this trend on YouTube. There are a lot of homemakers, boys, girls from villages. It's a good thing. It's a good thing
Mm. Even when I
because
saw this, I was really excited and surprised at the same time because I never knew that people are giving so much importance to this language. But now we can see we have a very big community of people who are practicing together and helping each other. So it's a great thing.
yeah, see, as a trainer, I understand that
Mhm,
the only way to improve your communication skills is to
mhm,
speak. The more
mhm,
you speak, the better you communicate, and the
exactly.
more confidently you communicate.
Exactly. You're truly right at this point. And I want to know, like you've been teaching for such a long time. So what
Mhm.
are the some common struggles that people are facing that you have realized that people are facing these common struggles and they are like nothing. They can work upon this. Have you seen any such struggles?
Lack of confidence, and lack of confidence is not just because of not knowing English. The thing is, this is like a very common thing. A lot of learners come to me and they are like that. I cannot express my thoughts only because I do not have good command of English. Then ask them a few questions, if they are from Hindi speaking background. So I ask them questions in Hindi, or if they're from different backgrounds. Like as I said, like I've worked with learners from 19 countries, so that's next to impossible for me to learn so many languages, right?
Right.
And and also believe in initially, like for your viewers, friends, English language internationally has 6 levels. There is a standard called CEFR, Common European Framework of Reference. It decides levels like six. A1 is the first level, A2, B1, C1, sorry, A1, A2, B1, B2, C1, C2. C2 is the top level, right? So every learner has their different challenges. Plus, uh, there's one more thing here, right? So when they come, they are like, because of my English, I'm not able to express my thoughts. Then I tell them, ask yourself, if you can speak the very same topic, you can express yourself effortlessly on that particular topic in your first language, then you'll get to know. For example, I personally believe that I have really good command of grammar because I've been training for so many years, have worked with so many people. But suddenly somebody comes from somewhere and says, like, tell me a bit about the war between Ukraine and Russia. What caused that war and what exactly happening there right now? I know there's a war. I know a little about that. But if you ask me to speak beyond 5 minutes, I won't, because this is what I know about it. So this is the first thing that I've seen with a lot of language learners. They don't realize that in not knowing English is not your main problem. Your main problem is not knowing the things around you. What matters to me, what matters to you, the kind of people I deal with, the kind of people you deal with are completely different things.
Right.
So if we have in different fields, we have different people around us, so we will be talking in different ways. So this is the first thing. Improve your knowledge about your field and about the world you are surrounded with. The first thing.
Right.
What do you say here?
No, you are absolutely right here because language is just a tool to express yourself. So it is very important to gain a lot of knowledge from your surrounding, from the things happening around you, from news channels or so, so that you could gain confidence in yourself that you are full of knowledge and you are able to speak for whatever topic coming to you on random. So that
Right.
will make you really confident when you'll be able to speak spontaneously on any random topic. So you talked about these international levels of speaking. So how do
Yes.
you gauge if a person is A1, A2? Like what is the criteria of putting the person in such levels?
Okay. Let's say someone comes and they are like, I am wake up or I am go. So like if they are not even familiar with where to put the basic word, the very first words that you can say is, am, are, was, were, will be. In grammar books, they may call them auxiliary verb or helping verb. I call them time words. If they are not able to even put these time words, effectively like I was go there instead of I went there. So this can say like they are A1, right? In A1 also there is like two parts whose first language is Hindi. So we'll understand like those who even don't know like he matlab wah, she matlab wah, like he for boy, she for girl, like those basic words. So A1 also has two parts. So then they belong to that.
Mhm. That
So
means A1
somebody
means
who,
beginner.
yeah, A1 means absolute beginner. Then A2, someone who knows a bit about English. Let's say they can say a few sentences in present, a few in past, etc. They make mistakes, but they are kind of able to express themselves. But then A2, then comes B1. B1 are like almost good with like day-to-day things, but get stuck at certain points. So yeah, like this is how I look at it. And there are a lot of things like not just the tenses. There are a lot of things when it comes to assessing someone's language level. Like a lot of things are considered. Their sentence formation, their word selection, pronunciation, vocabulary. So a very simple like A1, A2 person can say, I agree with you. If someone is like B1, B2, they may say like, I'm in complete agreement with you. I fully concur with you. So the levels also are decided based on the sentence selection and the vocabulary selection, along with pronunciation. And like a lot of people just focus on what to say. What is more important is how to say. your delivery,
Mhm.
right? For
Exactly.
example, like we have so many politicians in our country, uh, but like the way, if I talk about Hindi, so I can think of Modi, the Prime Minister,
Mm.
Mr.
Right.
Modi, right? So the way he speaks in first language, but wherever he goes, people listen to him carefully. And if I talk about English, Shashi Tharoor, I cannot think of anybody else.
Mhm.
I do not like his ideology, but yes, the way he expresses his thoughts sometimes like very emphatic,
Mhm. Right.
right? So that matters. Your word
So
selection,
speaking,
sentence selection. Yes, please.
exactly. Sorry to interrupt, but
No,
speaking of
please.
Sashi Tharoor, English, then I want to say like when you are addressing the masses, then English like Shashi Tharoor has, the he used very advanced English. So is it good to speak that kind of English to address the masses? Is it
You have
really
a really good
effective?
You have asked a really good question. No, that was just an example. Yeah, this I also say in everyday life. A good speaker or orator, you may call, is someone who changes, or you can say who considers the level of his listeners, their readers. If you are using very advanced vocabulary and your listeners, your viewers, or whoever you may call, are not able to understand you, then they are not fooled. You are. A good and effective speaker is someone who keeps his audience in mind.
Mm,
Shashi Tharoor generally doesn't speak to people like you and me, right?
mm.
But
Right.
because he has been in this field and
Mhm,
has been speaking for so long,
mhm,
I have felt it like as a language student, even if he wants to use very simple English, he's not able to. Because he has spent a lot of time in the US, right? Then who he's generally dealing with? He's dealing with ambassadors of different countries and really high class people. So
mhm,
yeah, that's how he is. But yes,
mhm,
I never say to my learners like advanced vocabulary. No, like there's this saying, while in Rome, do as the Romans do,
mhm,
which means like change yourself, keeping in mind the people around.
mhm.
What's your take on this one?
I feel the same. I'm on the same page as you because it is really very important to articulate your thoughts and people should understand what you want to convey. So if that is not happening, that then the conversation is totally useless, I would say. So it is very important.
Mhm.
And if you are at a very renowned position, then it is your responsibility to to speak the way that people could understand you, people could relate to you or connect to you. So it is your responsibility if you are at that renowned position. And I would say that this is a trend now that people use a lot of idioms and advanced English vocabularies or slangs. But what if the other person is not able to understand what you want to convey, and they'll
You know
keep
what?
on
Like
asking.
the credit for this goes to some, those so-called social media influencers who call
Influencers.
themselves language experts,
Mhm,
right? I personally feel that if you just talk about top 10 English teachers from across the world, their
mhm,
command of grammar is, in my experience, is kind of 6 7 or 7, like it would hardly reach. And the vocabulary they are telling you, like to all the viewers, all these people who are teaching you advanced vocabulary, out of them like 9 out of these 10 do not themselves use these words. They
mhm,
pick up them and they pick up these words from Oxford Cambridge dictionaries, right, or any other dictionary for that matter, and then they tell you. In real life, I have spoken with people from native countries also, I mean, sorry, whose first language is English, like native speakers. So
mhm,
yeah, even they are very much at ease with the language.
mhm,
Why to complicate? Like in language, I have learned one thing, like I learned a long time ago:
mhm,
kiss your language. So it's like acronym KISS. Keep
mhm.
your, like, keep it short and simple.
Right.
So if you kiss your language, the listeners and the readers, everybody is able to understand.
Mhm.
I can give
Right.
you one more example here of I had my schooling from a government school, right? So government school means like I'm 38 and I received my schooling from a government school in 2004. So people think like if you're born in a city like Delhi that you will speak English like anything. No, it's not so. Even today, if you go to many parts, it's not like where you are born. It's all about like the kind of conditions, like the surrounding you're born in. Even today, you ask the even teachers from government schools, they may not find if they watch this video. A lot of government teachers from Delhi itself are not able to speak English. Forget the students. So I received my schooling from Delhi, and then yeah, I saw a lot of things.
Right. And I want to know, like, what is your take on this? That language is evolving with time. There is a trend these days called Gen Z or Alpha. Have you heard of these kind of words?
Yes, yes, I have heard. Like
And
I
they
have heard of.
use, right, and they use like for WhatsApp, they'll say sup. So, what is your take on this? Is it really good? Is it evolving really well? Our language, that English language, is revolving in a really good way or not?
Uh, well, I follow that old school uh, thought process. Yeah, like there are certain terms that are like in our first language, Hindi also. They call this thing. If I'm not wrong, apubhransh or something. There's word kind like this. I think I'm not able to recall the right word. In English, they call it slang. Every language, every language with every age comes up with certain terms that belong to the people of that particular time, like the contemporary people. I like right now we are both talking on laptop. LAPI. It's an
Mhm.
acronym created by Indians. Can only
Right.
exist in India, right?
Mhm.
So this evolution, I'll not say like this is an evolution. It is just like people are looking at shortcuts for everything, and shortcuts are not good for long-term success. That's how I look at it.
Right, right, right. Even for their professional growth.
Yeah, for professional, it's very simple. It is like I do sub like from first it came like what is up, then it became short and
WhatsApp.
grammatically correct WhatsApp, and now they just use SUP. This S for what's like. You may also hear even native speakers. I've collected many of them. Like because I do not like it. How's you? Like, come on. How can you use is with you?
Mm, right. Exactly. But they are just getting influenced by some people who they see on TV or movies. So they are just getting influenced and they are incorporating all those mistakes in their daily conversations.
Yeah, but yeah,
So,
I'm totally against this thing.
mm, right. Even I am also against this thing, and it is really not good because it is important to keep the originality of the language, right? Because
Right.
at some point of time, we'll not be able to understand each other. There would be a generation gaps in languages as well,
Yes.
right? So it's really not good. But speaking of this, like people are doing mistakes in their life. People don't have the right path. They don't have anyone to guide them what is right or wrong. So speaking of this, what is your viewpoint on the importance of having a trainer or importance of having a mentor in their language learning journey?
Okay. Uh, Really good question. Well, we say practice makes a person perfect, right? There's one more angle to it that as a language teacher, I know practice makes you perfect, but practicing the wrong thing will make you perfect only in the wrong thing.
Mhm.
If there was no need of teacher, there would not be schools,
Mhm.
colleges, etc. As a teacher, like somebody approaches me, right? So I tell them what you should do, and how you should do it. This is the job of a teacher.
Right.
Yes, there's one more thing here. Ultimately, whatever you do, self practice is the solution to everything. Even if I'm working with a language learner, I'll be telling them that this you are supposed to do. They have to do it themselves. Right. So if you think you have got, yes, like a very point, let me make here. Those who are fooling you saying that learn English in 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, they are just there to make money and make you fool.
Mm.
Very simple answer to this question. Let's say my first language is not Hindi, right? Or let's say whatever language, like, and dear viewers, I'm talking to you here. Let's say whatever your first language is, Malayalam, Telugu, Kannada, whatever, or Hindi for that matter. Let's say I do not know that language, and I ask you to teach me that language as fluently as you speak, right? Make me a fluent speaker like you in 3, 4, 5 months. Is it possible? Not.
No.
So that's the thing. Right. So language learning takes time.
Mhm.
So if you think you have time, you can do, you can like devote a year, or at least a year to language learning, then you can do it yourself. But if you think you need to learn it faster, you need to go to a trainer. And one more important point here, if you are approaching a teacher keeping in mind the number of followers they have, then they will take you for a ride. I mean, they are going to fool you for sure.
And
Yeah.
like you are also training in this field for a long time. So what
Mhm.
is your approach of training? Do you teach grammar first and then speaking? Like what kind of approach do you follow for spoken English?
Well, no, it's just about spoken English. Even if you are learning English for competitive purpose, what do these institutes do? They just mug up, like, not mug up. I mean, they make you mug up those words like this. They create unnecessary mnemonics. Mnemonics means like I mean, for the viewers, mnemonics means tricks to remember
Shortcuts.
things.
Mm.
Tricks to remember some things. So they create unnecessary mnemonics. You pass that exam, and then when you go for interview, you fail. Why? Because language is not part of your life.
Mm.
Every language, my friends, is a culture that develops over years. And if you want to develop the culture for any language, the best and the easiest way is to start using it in your communication, in your everyday communication. Right. And my approach to language teaching is the same. I will not, like, a student comes to me, I'll not be telling them that, see, I'm going to teach you simple present today. They'll be dead. If they have to learn simple present this way, they'll be opening up. There are a lot of books,
Mm.
like, there are so many books in the market. Why would they come to me?
Mm.
My approach is simple. Okay, I'm telling you my everyday routine. Listen to me carefully. Then you need to copy and speak the way I do. I wake up at 6 in the morning. As soon as I wake up, I drink 2 glasses of water. Then I go out, I take a small walk. Then I come back, I go to the washroom. I say a few sentences, then I say, now it's your turn.
Mhm.
So
Right.
this approach.
Mhm.
And once they are done, then I'll tell you, we repeated the same things. So in grammar, they call this thing simple present, but I don't call it simple present. I call it Mr. Boring. I have given my
Yes,
own
it
names
is
to all
boring.
tenses. Why
Uh,
boring? So I'll tell them, like, it's easy to remember. Boring means, what is boring? Something that does not change. So Mr. Boring doesn't change. So this is in grammar simple present, and the structure is I wake up at XYZ time. So I teach them sentences. Through sentences they learn. Like, look at our first language. Did you open the grammar books to learn the language? You
Never.
first, grammar is important, my friends. Grammar is important for accuracy, but the way it is taught matters.
Right. And
So what
every
do you
trainer
say here?
has. Yes, I would say every trainer has their own approach to, make their students understand the English language. And like you have added a fun element to it. So your students might find it interesting and they might get that motivation to indulge themselves in that English language. And yes, grammar,
Mhm.
I also have the same opinion on this that grammar is important, but a few of the concepts like tenses, prepositions, and articles, and then you should start speaking from the very first day, and you should start surrounding
Yes.
yourself with English from the very first day. So over the period of time you'll gain that by watching, and you can, like, if you're clear with your grammar rules, there is no requirement to mug up the rules. You can do some exercises related to it just to make sure that you're doing it right, and then when you watch any videos you can just notice the patterns they are using in their sentences. So this way you can become even more confident while
Right.
speaking, that you are speaking it right, and this will give you some confidence. So you need not to
Uh,
cram up things.
One more point to add here. I have worked with, because everybody needs English. I have worked with everybody, CA, CS. I mean, every single profession that I could think of. I have even worked with professors whose first language, like who are teaching English. Can you imagine? Like I'm teaching professors also. Why so? Knowing rules of a language and then applying in communication are different things. When you are speaking, you have very little time to think. When you're reading and writing, you have more time to think, especially from teachers from UP, Bihar. Like this is my own experience. Teachers from UP, Bihar, Kerala, and Andhra. Like these four states is my experience. Means the teachers, even language learners, they have really good command of language, but still they are not able to speak. Why? Because they haven't practiced speaking. The more you practice speaking, the better you will be able to use the language. The more effortlessly language will be, flowing through your mind, flowing through your
Right,
words.
right, exactly. Rightly said that. And so I want to ask one more question. Like I've
Sure.
recently started training students, beginner students, and I
Mhm.
find it really struggling to keep them motivated, because it is really difficult for beginner to speak or to gain that confidence from the very first day. But they have
Right.
that thing in their mind that they want to, like, I am not able to do it, and they are not very patient with this language. So how can I motivate them that they have to be patient, and it will not come in a day. They have to, dedicate some time to this English language. I'm not able to motivate them enough because they need it in a faster manner. So how do you motivate your students in this matter?
There's a beautiful saying again. Italy, I mean, Rome in Italy has given a lot of proverbs. So that's Rome wasn't built in a day.
In a
In
day,
Hindi, we say
right?
like हर खूबसूरत चीज के बनने में वक्त
Right,
लगता है. So
right.
tell them, see, if you think that like there's one beautiful quote also. What comes easy doesn't last, and what lasts doesn't come easy. Means अगर आप चाहते हो, okay, I'm switching to Hindi for a moment, कि अगर आप चाहते हो कि
Sure.
चीजें ज्यादा लंबे समय तक चलें, if you really want things to last a really long time, you need to give them time. Whatever it is, whether it is your language learning journey or your relationship or anything else for that matter, every beautiful thing requires
Takes time.
time. So my friends, when the moment you are feeling a bit demotivated, remember that it is quite natural. Anybody, everybody, even Sandeep Master, I'm a big fan of his. He's a motivational speaker. Just a year ago, he said that he is struggling with some mental issues, and I really appreciate him for coming up and saying this thing
Mm-hmm.
openly. A lot of people were like, how could that be so? Like he is himself a motivational speaker and saying that he is feeling demotivated. Those were idiots. They didn't understand. He's telling this thing, he's communicating this message that my friends, it is quite
Common.
natural. It's a common thing. It can happen to anybody. If somebody like Sandeep Maheshwari is feeling demotivated, depressed, so you can feel it too. So he wanted to communicate this message. So yes, it's not language learning. Many times you make efforts. A lot of times, a lot of things do not happen in just one, two, or like three attempts. So give yourselves some time and remember, every time you feel demotivated, ask yourself, what is it? Whatever you are going to do, you always ask yourself, इसमें मेरे लिए क्या है? या किसी, let's say, as parent, you are giving your child money to get milk from the nearby shop. The very first question that comes to the child's mind is, मैं क्यों लाऊं? What is in it for me? मेरे लिए क्या है इसमें? You said,
Right.
beta, this is 100 rupee note, right? The cost of milk is 90, 10 rupees are yours. उसको why मिल गया उसको? किस मेरे लिए क्या है? He'll run and he'll get the
Mm-hmm.
milk. Right. So
Right.
my language learners friends, understand this thing. Whenever you feel motivated, ask yourself, what is in it for me? Why am I learning this thing? I'm learning this thing so that I can talk to people effortlessly, so that I can make friends from across the world. I can read English literature from around the world, which is 90% available only in English. And then a lot of other opportunities.
Mm.
Good
There are a
job,
lot many
better business.
opportunities.
Yes. So it's okay to feel demotivated, but It is not okay to stay there. You have to motivate yourself. No one else is going to do it for you. No one else is coming to save you, right? So
Absolutely.
every time you feel demotivated, think of things that have made you uh, motivated the last time. Ask yourself what you have done so far. And yes, one more point. A lot of times language learners feel demotivated for this reason. They are like, sir, we want to speak like you. And then I'm like, come on, man. I have spent 16 years in language training, right? So how could you expect that to happen to you? Yes, if you are really dedicated, passionate, you can see within 2, 3 years. So this is the biggest reason for anybody to feel demotivated.
Mhm.
People are selling you success stories. Nobody's going to sell you failure stories. I'm going to make a video also about this thing. So my friends, this yeah, you can also ask your students to do it from day from like first 2, 3 days. Start making some videos. Like once you're done with the class, ask yourself like what my teacher Sunita ma'am discussed with me in the class today. Turn on your mobile camera. Smartphones are smart for a reason, and make a video. Save it somewhere. Right after 5, 6 days, the day you are feeling demotivated, watch those videos. You will realize the progress you have made. You will again feel motivated. This is one of the best motivations. Compare yourself with what you were yesterday. If you
Yes.
feel a positive change, it's a change indeed. Forget the world. Just
Mhm.
remember yourself. That's what matters to
Mhm.
you.
That really struck me very well. The time you said that you should compare yourself to what you were yesterday. And this line
Yes.
is in it enough for motivating people. And thank you so much for this motivation. I'm sure it has opened many minds out there, those who are feeling demotivated. They have to keep their complex aside and they just have to look at their improvement they are making day by day. They need not to
Yes.
compare themselves with others.
Yeah, this is the only way. This is the only way. Like to me, like this is never new because like I've been in language training for so long. So yeah, language learners are like I'm going to speak like you, or in their classes also there are certain students who speak very effortlessly. As I said, like knowing a language and being able to organize your thoughts are completely different things. I have a language learner. Her name is Jenny. She is my level 4 learner. There are 3 more people in her group. Whatever topic I give in their group, she's the first person to start. And they all they are like, sir, after the class, they message me, sir, we want to speak like Jenny. I said, see, you are all in the same group. And I'm not teaching her. Do you really think I'm
Separately.
giving her some extra time? I'm giving her some individual attention? No. It's just that sometimes you have to push yourself.
But
Right.
exposure
Yeah,
is
the
really
job of a
important.
teacher, yeah, the teacher is also motivating you, but you also have to motivate yourself.
Mhm.
As long as you know it is not coming from within. I mean, this is my own like 38 years of experience of life. Whatever it is, whether it is a positive thing or negative thing, as long as you do not feel, doesn't matter. People said that, for example, like Sunita is a fantastic speaker. As long as she herself doesn't feel it, she cannot be. And everybody around her says like she is very arrogant, she doesn't speak English well, or this or that, she shows off. Doesn't matter. The moment she starts feeling it, yes, there is something wrong about me or my speaking style, things will start worsen. Sorry, start to worsen.
Mhm.
So it's all about how you feel and what you feel about yourself.
Mhm.
So why not feel good?
Mhm. Exactly.
Right. So yeah, that's
Mhm.
what my answer is.
Okay. So thank you so much, Vishnu sir. I have taken all your time, I guess. And this
No, it was
conversation was
pleasure talking
actually
to
really
you.
very
And
nice.
yeah,
So
thank
that
you.
is why.
All
Okay.
right.
So I think I can keep my other questions for another session with you.
Sure,
And
sure, sure.
I'll let you go for now. And it was really nice talking to you. I hope you'll have a
Same
great day
here.
ahead.
Yeah, you too. Bye.
Okay, sir. Bye. Thank you so much.